Still held Acosta. Looks for a pass for Augustine. Goes for goal. Rebound. Oh my god, Click has just scored. Are we actually leading? I'm in disbelief right now. Big chance here for the substitute. Augustine 1v1 and he scored 2-0 Leeds United. What on earth is happening here? I'm genuinely in disbelief. So here we are back again, another episode of the Leeds United Career Mode series. This is episode number 2. Last episode was something special for us. We first of all signed David Brooks from, of course, Bournemouth. And we had a fairy tale start to our Premier League season, beating Liverpool on the opening match day 2-0. It was genuinely unbelievable, and let's hope we can keep this kind of form up. With about 20 million left in the bank, we're going to continue making more signings in today's episode to improve our team for this season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we do have some challenging Premier League fixtures along the way, especially this one against Chelsea at home at Elland Road, so that's going to be a big game for us. Also, big thank you to you guys for showing incredible support on the first episode of this series. I mean, I'm so glad you're enjoying this Leeds United road to glory already, and let's hope we can keep the support coming in. Drop a like on the video if you're enjoying the content. If we can smash out 4,000 likes, I'll get you an episode tomorrow as well. And also subscribe for more FIFA 20 career mode content. Starting off the episode with a press conference as per. And if you guys want to get involved, drop in your questions down in the comments section below. First one of the day. Loans can be used and the likes of Vinicius can come in on loan. That's actually a very good suggestion. With the limited funds we have, we've got to make use of the loan feature. Now with the realism mod, loaning players is actually a very viable option, and that's something we're going to do. I don't think loaning Vinicius is possible because apparently loaning players that are above the overall of like 78 or so, it is just virtually impossible, but we'll maybe give it a go and see what can happen. But loaning in players has to be something we've got to account for, otherwise we're really going to not be able to make the improvements we need to make. I know Leeds already have quite a few players on loan like Ben White and all, but if we need to survive the Premier League this season, this is the best possible way to build a competitive squad, and expect to see some loan transfers in this and the next episode. Any suggestions? Please put them down in the comment section below. Next up, how will you manage signings, youth academy stuff, and more with such a small budget? That's a good question. I think it depends on how efficient we can be. Definitely the aim is to hire a proper good youth scout. I think we'll do that after we're done with all our transfer business. But yeah, we're going to definitely do that. So we've got to keep budget left for that. Signing players on loan, as we just spoke of, could be the key play. And apart from that, pre-contract transfers in the January transfer window. We've got to be really efficient with whatever we do. Signing players for the cheapest amount of money as possible. And also, if big offers come in for some of our players, we've got to at least listen to them. So that's probably how we're going to manage our finances. Next up, do you believe Augustine and Bamford are good enough for the Premier League? I think Augustine is, but he's on loan, so we won't have him next season. Bamford, though, on the other hand, I'm not too sure of, but you guys know overall sometimes can be really misleading. We've had so many players over the course of this year perform much better than what their overall indicates. So we're definitely going to give Bamford a chance and then, of course, make a conclusion. But I think Augustine definitely has the quality to be a top player in the Premier League. We saw when he scored against Liverpool in that last episode, but Bamford, we yet to see. But I'm going to trust in them. We're not going to look for a striker in this window. At least that's what I'm thinking at the moment. So let's hope they can get us through. So far, impressed with Augustine, and Bamford, we'll need to see how he plays. But with that press conference done, let's move on. It's good to see defenders get recognition early on in this series, as Liam Cooper had a phenomenal episode. I mean, a clean sheet against Liverpool, so many top-class challenges. He was super impressive, and that's why he picks up the Player of the Episode award. Now, last episode was an important one for us, as we made the signing of David Brooks from Bournemouth. Now, I spoke about, improving our wingers this season, and that's something I want to continue. Now, in this episode, I want to bring in a left-sided player who could maybe slot in as a left winger, as well as maybe a left back. And I've got literally the perfect player in mind. And that player is Bukayo Saka from Arsenal. A lot of you guys in the comments section were telling me to try and get him on loan. And that's something I'm going to do, because he's got the quality to, play really well in the Premier League. He's got a bit of experience as well. And I think he'll just fit perfectly in what we're trying to build with the pace he's got, and he'll offer something different. Also, he's super versatile, and that's why I'm kind of preferring him over, of course, Vinicius Jr. If we can secure him on like a 2-year loan deal, he could be a top-class player to have in the club. Let's see if loaning him actually will work, because there's no way we're outright purchasing him. And besides that, don't want to be spending big right now on a player like Saka. So let's see if a loan deal is something that we can pull off for Saka, the Arsenal left midfielder. Let's see if we can get him. Okay, we can only get him for like a 1-year loan deal, but that's fine. It works for me. He's only 17. I think that's because he's got like only a 1-year contract. So 1-year loan deal. And now in terms of splitting his wages, let's offer 40% we pay, 60% they pay. Now, in real life, this is never going to happen. Most likely, all the wages will be paid by the club who are taking the player on loan, which in this case will be Leeds. But on career mode, this actually works, and let's see if it does. There you go. We only have to pay like 40% of Saka's wages and we get him for a season. We need to be making more loan transfers, because this way we'll have a really competitive squad to avoid relegation or maybe even finishing in the top half of the table. And with that, Saka is now a Leeds player. Oh wait, we've got to wait for him to accept the contract. Hopefully he will. You guys have been asking me to look for a centre-back in the comments section as well, and Juan Foyt has been linked to, of course, Leeds United for a fair bit, and he'd be a great transfer, especially with Ben White just being on loan. Having another youngster come in on maybe a permanent transfer could be the key, but it all depends on how much Foyt is going to cost us. If it's like about 10 million or so, we could be in like a good business deal with Spurs here. So let's see if it's possible to bring in Foyt on a really good deal. Okay, so straight up, I'm going in with a 10 million offer because I feel like that's a fair valuation. Of course, we don't really know much about Foyt and Spurs, like what they value him at. 16.6 million. That is a lot of money, man. I don't want to be paying that much for Juan Foyt. Let's go back to maybe 12 and just work our way up, because I think Mourinho will agree for 12 to maybe 13 million with that sell-on clause. Okay, 13.4. Let's try and be more stingy, man. Let's counter with 13 million. This will be a proper good transfer if they're willing to accept 13 million. 13.3. All right, man. You know what? Let's accept it. I don't want to, you know, ruin the deal with like just 300,000 at stake. So 13.3 million pounds for Juan Foyt with a 10% sell-on clause. That's the negotiations done with Jose Mourinho. Let's get the contract sorted. The role he'll have at the club. I'm going to try rotation just to see if he'll accept it. He wants crucial, which means he's fairly high rated, so that's a good sign, I suppose. Crucial squad role, accepted that. Contract, let's give him 5 years. I don't want him leaving anytime soon whatsoever. And no release clause as well. These are his wage demands. Not too bad, to be honest. Let's submit offer. 37,000 works for me. And that's not going to work. What? Just because we removed the bonus? Oh god, we're gonna have to negotiate with Foyt after like a week or so, but that's such a bummer. We won't have him for this upcoming game against Newcastle. I messed things up there. That's completely my fault. Well, we're gonna have to wait a bit until we get sorted with all the transfer business. So, until then, quick look at our season objectives. Now, we're gonna be running things a bit different with our objectives. 6 objectives though, all selected by you guys. But instead of having a forfeit, what we'll be doing is, for every objective we complete, we get an additional 5 million added to our budget next season. Now, I got this idea from the Formula 1 game. They've got like sponsors in their career mode, and it works something like this. So I thought it'd be super interesting, and it'll make every objective have like a lot of value. And every time we complete an objective, it'll be huge for us, because next season it gives us additional money. So I think it's a great idea. I think we're gonna have it for this series. So these are the objectives, and now these objectives are even more important because they'll actually give us more money to spend. Premier League quality. Have 380 plus rated players in the team come end of season. Now that is a challenge, but having players like Brooks and Phillips, Ben White maybe, it is possible. We'll see though. Top half. Secure a top half finish in the Premier League. Reason why I've made these objectives like really difficult is because since they're giving us extra cash, we've got to make them a challenge, and that's why we've got that objective in there. Midfield maestro. Have an average rating of 7.6 plus with Calvin Phillips. Again, that's a difficult one, but with the quality he possesses, it's definitely possible. Moving on, taking control. Have over 55% possession in 10 games this season. It's going to be difficult. We're in the Premier League with the underdogs, and keeping possession is not going to be easy, but definitely possible. Dream Cup run. Reach the quarterfinals of a cup competition. I'm probably going to aim at the Carabao Cup for that. The next gigs. Score and assist 20 goals this season with David Brooks. So those are the objectives. Higher stakes now for each objective, because we'll be getting 5 million next season added to our budget every time we complete one of these objectives. So that's how it's going to work. We're going to have to wait until Saka approves his contract before he becomes a Leeds United player for the season. And also we messed up the Foyt deal, so we're going to have to wait for that as well. Until then, time to play Newcastle in the Premier League. If we can get another win here, That could be huge. They have not started off the season well with a loss. We're playing at the Elland Road. We could be favourites for this one. Let's see what happens. I've made a few changes to our team from that winning team that we put forward against Liverpool, like putting Robertson for Pablo Hernandez just to see how he plays. You guys have been telling me he's a great talent and, well, we'll give him a go. Click starts, of course. He scored and assisted against Liverpool in that previous game. Phillips, Cooper, Ben White, pretty much one of the strongest Leeds teams that we could put forward. Let's go out there and try and pick up the 3 points against Newcastle. I feel like this one against Newcastle is going to have a completely different dynamic to that game that we had against Liverpool, because we should be having a lot more of the ball in this fixture, and that means we're going to have to create and defend well. Let's see how this works out. On the counter, it's much easier to play on this game, but to create chances, you need quality, and let's see if we've got that quality to break down this Newcastle defense. And this is what I was talking about. On the counter, things could really get ugly for us, as here's Joelinton. Alioski puts in a really good interception. Here's Roberts, our number 11, looking to bring the ball forward. Releases this one for Click. The goal scorer against Liverpool. Looks inside for Augustine. Back to Click. That's good defending from Fabian Schär, but good to see us get in behind and create. Ben White once again, strong challenge and helping us to build from the back, as here's Augustine, the Frenchman, trying to get past this man. Earns us a free kick in a good spot. Unfortunately, we don't have Pablo Hernandez, so from 27 yards, I think I'm going to take this one with Calvin Phillips and just hope for the best. Let's see how this works out. A lot of power. We're going to time it well. Okay. Well, don't expect me to score any free kicks this season. Andy Carroll looks now for Almiron, who's beaten me for pace there brilliantly. Alioski is chasing him. Still Almiron, but Alioski recovers that so well. I'm saying, man, defensively, this team has got a lot of talent. I don't think I'm worried too much about our defense, as we could start something here on the counter-attack. As here goes Click. Looks for Augustine, who's on the run here. Goes for goal, but that's phenomenal defending from Newcastle. Fernandes just saved them a goal. Problems here for us as Carroll might break through. We've got to mark him well. Good defending, but oh, no. Big save from Kiko Casilla. I put the challenge in properly there with Ben White, but I don't know how Carroll got the ball again. Kiko Casilla, though, with a really good save. Corner, John Joe Shelby puts it in. Carroll with the header. They might have a big chance here. Thankfully, Casilla with yet another save. He's having a good game. Saint Maximin, the danger man, with a lot of pace. Looks inwards for John Joe Shelby. We got to mark him well. Calvin Phillips is doing fairly decently. Makes Maximin gets it back. Now it's Joelinton. Cross comes in. What? How did Kiko Casilla not get a hand to it? A cross like that, and also what was Casilla's positioning there? A silly goal to concede against Newcastle. Like, come on. Take a look at that again. The cross from Joelinton was just... And what was Casilla doing? That's completely his fault. And also number 43 left his marker completely. Terrible goal to concede. I think we need a bit of experience in that midfield if we want to get through this Newcastle side. So I'm bringing on Pablo Hernandez for Click. Having Roberts and Hernandez in that midfield should give us a lot of creativity. Let's hope we've got enough in the tank to get a goal out of this game. But it's proving to be a difficult challenge because Newcastle look like a very capable team. This second half, guys, we just haven't even had the ball. It's genuinely been tragic from us. Ben White wins that cleanly, but yeah, it's been such a struggle. Second half, Newcastle have just completely taken over. Oh, we can't deal with this. This pace from Saint Maximin is genuinely unplayable, but Ben White, another good challenge. I've got to say, even though we've conceded in this game, Ben White has been really solid. Full time, and well, it's the first game that we've lost this season, second game of the season, and well, we can't carry that form over from that Liverpool game. Fair enough, Newcastle, they were the better team. We barely could create any good chances in this one. Lots to improve upon, lots to work on. That's why I'm saying, man, this challenge with Leeds United isn't going to be easy at all. We've got to continue improving. A tough defeat to take, nevertheless. You know what's funny? We had like 57% possession in this game, and we still lost. It helps with our objectives, but I'll be honest, I'd rather take the win. We have a bit of fantastic news, and I'm so glad this has worked out. Our first loan transfer of this series, Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, will be a Leeds United player for this upcoming season. This is massive for us because he is Premier League quality. We've seen how good he has been for Arsenal, and having such a player, such a talent with the work rate and the work ethic is going to be really key for us this season. So I'm glad this has worked out. The fact that Saka is already 74 rated, the 4-star weak foot, the raw pace, such a good talent to have in this side. Let's hope he can have a good year with us. Unfortunately, we still need to wait a bit until we can go back into negotiations with Spurs and Juan Foyt. So until then, we've got a game against Chelsea, who by the way have had a bit of an iffy start to the Premier League season as they are 8th, just one place above us. Since we lost our last game, if we can get points out of this one against Chelsea, that'd be nice. But let's be honest, I'm not expecting to do so. This Chelsea side is just far superior. Let's hope we can just hold our own. Saka probably has the most experience of playing against Chelsea in this team, so he had to start. We've got Bamford starting because of his Chelsea past. Apart from that, it's pretty much the strongest team I could put forward. If we can get something out of this game, it'll be a big win for us. That's the Chelsea team we're facing, and of course, their quality. We know how good Pulisic, Kante, Rudiger, Kovacic, all of them are. We just did a Chelsea career mode, which we were super successful with. And I think I know a lot about this team, but of course, trying to get a result against them is going to be just so hard because of the quality they've got. Rafael Varane at the back as well. This is a proper good Chelsea team, but we've beaten Liverpool. We may just be able to do it against Chelsea. Could this game be our first win at Ellen Road? I'm hoping for, but let's not keep our hopes high. It's Chelsea we're facing. Willian looking to play this one out wide for Pulisic. We know how dangerous he can be. That is just wonderfully done by Pulisic. Jorginho now on the attack. I'm struggling defensively here. Still the Italian tries to put it in. Ben White with a strong defensive challenge. And we avoid conceding there. But Chelsea, they look to be in the mood. Here goes Click, who's on the run. He was one of our best players against Liverpool in that game. And against Chelsea, he seems to be in good form. Looks for a cutback for Pablo Hernandez. Still Hernandez here. On the left foot. Can he go for goal? Oh, he gets the ball back again. But ultimately, they managed to defend that. Oh, problems here for us as Pulisic has been played in behind here for Chelsea. Still Christian Pulisic. Again, how does he win the ball after I put like a perfect challenge in? I don't get it. But thankfully, we still have the ball as we try and play it wide to Saka. But come on, man. We're giving possession so cheaply, and that's going to cost us at some point in this game. Halftime against Chelsea, the only positive is that the scoreline is 0-0. We're really struggling to create any sort of chances. In this episode, I don't even think we've had a shot on target. It just goes to show how difficult this is. But yeah, second half, things need to be better. But honestly, I'll take a 0-0 scoreline. I'm going to be honest, because yeah, it's Chelsea we're facing. This is a really difficult fixture for us. Here goes Brooks with a bit of pace, but Kovacic is catching up to him so easily. But that turn-in was lovely from Brooks, as now he finds Pablo Hernandez. I could maybe send this one back into Brooks' path, as he's now got a big chance here. Brings it inside. Massive moment for him. Goes for goal, and Brooks has scored. Unbelievable scenes as Leeds United take the lead against Chelsea. Brooks, my goodness. That was Salah-esque, or Messi-esque, you could say, as he just ran down the right side. Brilliant football, brought it inwards as well, and just curled it in. Unbelievable finish right there from Brooks as we take the lead against Chelsea at Ellen Road. This could be our first victory at our home stadium. What a goal from Brooks. I mean, that's why we paid the big bucks for him, and that's why we brought him in here at Leeds United. The signing is coming through as he scores a spectacular goal, celebrates in style. Leeds United make it 1-0 against Chelsea. Oh, this is a bit problematic, as it's now Batshuayi, as he still has the pace here. Oh, problems here for us. Still Batshuayi goes for goal. Big save from Kiko Casilla. That could have easily been 1-1. The Spaniard is really keeping us in the game, in the lead in this one. Chance for Chelsea from a corner. No way are we conceding from a corner. Saka gets it away, but only to Kovacic. Now it is Rudiger. They're putting a lot of pressure on us. This is scary now. Cooper does so well there, and Casilla collects. That is top-class defending from Cooper. He is the leader of this team. Oh, here goes Brooks once again on the attack. This time goes for a cutback, finds Bamford. Bamford gets it back. Big chance for him. No way has he dragged his shot wide. That was his moment to, you know, say to the world that he is Premier League quality, but he drags his shot completely wide. I mean, yeah, it was pretty close, but still, from there, it should be on target at the very least. Time to make some changes because I'm feeling stamina issues for a few players. So I'm going to bring on Forshaw, give him his first game of the season for Hernandez, just to, you know, shore up that midfield because we're leading right now. Also held Acosta to come on for Brooks to give us that extra bit of pace. And let's bring on Augustine for Bamford, who's had a bit of a shocker, I'm not going to lie. Here's Forshaw, Click. Inside to Augustine, back to Click. It's beautiful football, and Click might just be able to score that. In the 90th minute, we've made it 2-0. This Click guy, man, is just something else. He scored against Liverpool, and now he's done it again against Chelsea. We might be called the giant killers right now in the Premier League, because two of the biggest teams in the competition, and we've put them to sport here. 2-0 in this one. What a finish from Click as well. I mean, he took that one so well and confidently. Augustine with the assist. I mean, that is just a finish of like a top-class striker from Click. Unreal scenes as now we lead 2-0, securing the win at Chelsea, and Frank Lampard must be furious at this situation. Let's go though, big win for us here. We get beat by Newcastle United and then we respond with a win over Chelsea. That just seems like classic me playing career mode. Anyways, we got the job done here, 2-0. What a performance. You love to see it. Only 49% possession in this game, but ultimately we were really ruthless on the counter and we got the job done. We've now got an offer coming in for Berardi from Fiorentina, 670,000 for a 31-year-old. I don't mind freeing up some wages by selling him, so I'm going to accept the offer. Hopefully it goes through, because we're going to sign Juan Foyt, so I'm not too worried about letting him go. So we've just sold Berardi, one of our reserve centre-backs, for about 670,000 to Fiorentina. That gives us an additional money added to our transfer budget, some wages as well, which is nice. But of course, we now need to secure the signing of Juan Foyt. Okay, last time an offer of 13 million worked. Let's offer 10 million and just see what Mourinho and Spurs are thinking about this deal. If 10 million is enough, that'll be brilliant. So 14.4 is their counter offer. Let's go down to maybe 12.5 and see if we can get him for cheaper than before. That'll be brilliant. They want 14.5. Okay, let's counter then with maybe 13 million and see how that works out. 13.4 is, I think, what we worked out towards the last time, or was it 13.3? But they're willing to accept 13 million. So Jose Mourinho is willing to let Foyt go for that amount, which works perfectly for me. Let's hope we can wrap up the deal this time with the contract and not mess things up. So we do know Foyt wants a crucial squad role at the club, and that works perfectly fine for me. Now, contract length, 5 years. We don't want him leaving anytime soon. And in terms of like a release clause, no release clause whatsoever. So I'm going to just accept offer, because last time we tried, messing things up with, the appearance bonus, and he just declined. We don't have time to, renegotiate with him because deadline day is approaching. So we accepted it. Job done. One of our biggest signings of this series so far. Juan Foyt makes his way to Leeds United. 13 million for this kid, I think, is a phenomenal piece of business. He's one of our highest rated defenders now, 75 overall. He's pretty quick, can play as a right back as well, and offers us much needed depth. And the fact that his valuation is 20 million and we signed him for 10, I don't know how that works out, but okay, I'll absolutely take it. The Argentine has just joined us. It's a bit crazy that we're 6th in the Premier League right now. That is mad. That is actually mad. 6 points, 2 wins, 1 loss. Next episode, I'm hoping to keep that up. We've got some tricky games coming up though in the next one. West Ham in the Prem, Man City, oh god, that is going to be a game that we could get embarrassed in, but we'll see what happens. Burnley as well, a lot of fixtures coming up in that next episode, and I can't wait for it. Also, of course, don't forget, a lot of focus is going to be on transfers. Next episode, I think instead of making any permanent deals, we're going to focus on getting maybe, loan deals in, more players in to, fill up the squad and improve our squad depth. That could be the play. So any suggestions, put them down in the comment section below. Pretty good episode for our season objectives. We're currently in the top half of the Premier League table. Phillips is having a good season. Also, one game where we had 55% more possession. And apart from that, Brooks scored a wonder goal. So not bad at all. Now, before we wrap up the episode, time to discuss who should be winning player of the episode. Now, I've got a few nominees in here, and I think Brooks has to be among them. I mean, the goal he scored against Chelsea was unfreaking believable, so he has to be nominated. And I think Kiko Casilla deserves to be in there as well. How many saves he made in that game against Chelsea, it was nuts. So it's probably between the two of them. Let me know in the comments section who you think deserves to win the Player of the Episode award. It's been a super successful episode for us, apart from maybe that game against Newcastle, but we made things up by beating Chelsea. Transfer business wise, Foyt and of course Saka are here. Can't wait for Foyt's debut in the next episode. I'm probably going to be making more loan transfers in the next one, so if you guys have any suggestions, put them down in the comment section below. But for now, we're ending off the episode. Drop a like in the video if you've enjoyed. 4,000 likes, and I promise you, next episode will be tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new around here, and well, I'll catch you all next time.